Hey, guess what? It's the Blazor Puzzle, episode 41. I'm Carl Franklin from AppVNext. That's Jeff Fritz from Microsoft. Hey, Jeff.
Hello. Good to see you, sir.
Good to
How's
see
things?
you. Yeah, good. You know, this is episode 41, and how does it feel to be one episode away from the answer to everything?
It's almost there. I feel like we're going to know everything when we get to that episode.
Yeah,
But
next week, man.
I guess we're just stuck with episode 41 then.
Right. Well, until then, thanks for all the fish, and we'll continue with last week's puzzle.
Here we go.
So, Jeff, this was the QR code conundrum. Remind us what this app is and what the problem is.
So this is the basic template that you get when you build an application with Blazor, right? You start off brand new application and you get this basic template when you turn on authentication. And you
Right.
can see we've got the standard 3 menu items at the bottom there: auth required, register, and login, to allow you to log in to this new application you created. But when you create new applications, you may want to enable two-factor authentication.
Right.
And two-factor authentication is a pain in the neck to set up when you have to key in those 16 characters or 20 characters, whatever it is going across. That's a pain in the neck. And we all want to just scan the QR code, set up our phone, and away we go. I don't have to think about it anymore.
Right.
Well-
So let me log in here, right?
Yeah, go ahead and log in. All right, you're logged in, and if you click into your username there on the left, there's this two-factor authentication you can set up.
Okay. So I'm going to click the button, add authenticator app, and
Right, here's this template bit that ships with it, where we can decide if we want to add that QR code with that little bit in the middle that says enable QR code generation.
All right. So I'm going to click enable QR code generation.
Yep,
That takes me to a website for
takes you to an article.
yeah,
Yeah.
an article. It looks like it's good documentation. What's the problem?
The problem is this documentation it linked you to is for ASP.NET. It's not for Blazor.
It's for ASP.NET Core for like MVC or something? Or-
Yeah, for MVC or Razor pages. When we're building and working with a Blazor application that's doing these secure interactions to manage your information, whether it's passwords or two-factor authentication, it's all running on the server with server-side rendering. So this type of interaction that is recommended here isn't going to work. And because it's doing server-side rendering, it's also got the enhanced navigation capabilities in there. So if you tell it to render and run JavaScript at page render time, it's not going to run right at page render time. And if you try and inject JavaScript on the fly for just this part of the website, it's not going to do that well either. And there's actually some documentation that's in the Microsoft Learn repository that this link should be pointing to instead, that will give you a little bit clearer description of what to do.
And that's this.
Yeah.
It looks pretty close to the same enable QR code generation, but it's for Blazor.
Yes, there you go.
So this one is for ASP.NET Core, and
Yep.
this one is for ASP.NET Core Blazor. Subtle difference.
Subtle.
Yeah.
So I would have accepted that as a solution. Just, hey, you started setting up with ASP.NET Core. You need to
Right.
follow the Blazor steps.
Yeah.
The Blazor steps, there are 2 or 3 things that we need to do in order to get this to work.
Let's do them.
All right. We're going to do a lot of our work here in this enable authenticator .razor file.
Yep.
We want to add a JavaScript file that's going to be an isolated JavaScript file that goes with that.
Okay.
So let's add a new JavaScript file here. So we'll paste in what the script that was recommended to be running on load here.
Okay. So we have to get this element and an attribute and create a new QR code. Now, this is in a JavaScript function. It's not in this page right here, which is where the other one was.
It was there. There it is. See, the ASP.NET code recommended putting in a script block here. So for the puzzle, we copied in that script block on line 69 through 79. We can remove that.
All right, we're going to remove the whole thing here. Okay, what's next?
All right. Next, we need to introduce a page-script.razor component that will have content that'll actually bring in that JavaScript, render it, and allow it to execute.
Okay, so we're going to put this in account pages manage. We're going to put it right here.
Put it up at the top under components. Because it's something we could share with the rest of the application.
Page-script.razor. Okay.
There you go. So here we're actually using an HTML custom element page-script that we'll wire up in a little bit here. And we're providing some code that says inject a reference to this source file. This
is really cool. This is a nice way to wrap JavaScript in a component in general.
Yep.
I like it.
Right, so that you can do that page-level JavaScript insertion. You don't need to put all the JavaScript in AppRazor. You can put in just individual pages using this technique.
Okay.
So, last one that we need to do is we need to go into the root folder, and we need to create a new JavaScript file there.
Okay.
And the name for this JavaScript file actually needs to be the assembly name .lib.module.js.
Okay, puzzle-40.lib.module.js.
There we go.
Okay.
And there's code for this that's in the documentation on Microsoft Learn. Just copy it and paste it in here.
Okay, that looks like more code than we care to explain right now.
Exactly. What I can tell you is this wires up that page-script HTML element.
Okay, great.
So because we named this with that special assembly name.lib.module,
yep,
it will automatically be loaded and managed appropriately by the enhanced navigation as part of Blazor.
Very good, very good. So now I imagine we have to go back to enable authenticated razor and add that component, right?
Exactly. We need to add that page script component here, and I like to put those up at the top so it's real clear that they're being added and defined with those page level meta information.
Sure. So is that it?
There's one more thing. There's a syntax error over in AppRazor where it references the QR code JavaScript.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
I see.
Get rid of that tilde. That's okay for ASP.NET, but for Blazor, we can reference /.
Okay. So we ran this, and we found out that a div was missing an ID.
Yeah.
So let's go add that in now. So enable authenticator right down here.
Yep. So lines 43 and 44, we need to put IDs on those.
Like that?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. For all the money. Here we go. And boom!
We've got a QR code.
Yay!
So, handful of steps there. It's a little bit more complex to set up than just running JavaScript on the page, but this is something important for us to know. If you want to inject and run JavaScript on the server-side rendered Blazor pages, to be able to add script only on specific pages or to have script called when the page loads, you need to do things just a little bit differently on those server-side rendered pages.
Now, we actually did get a few entries here, but only one got it right, that it was an error in the link to the documentation. They found the documentation and figured it out. And the winner is, drumroll please, Michelle Wickham from Ottawa, Ontario.
All right. Congratulations to you, Michelle.
Eh? I didn't really say that, did I? Did I say that out loud?
No.
Okay. And just for being picked from the having the right answer, Michelle's going to get one of these. A Blazor Puzzle mug.
Nice.
And if that wasn't enough, she's also going to win one of the following: $5,000 cash,
Yes.
a brand new $10,000 3D printer, or a 2-week all expense paid trip to Hawaii, or she could win a Blazor Puzzle t-shirt.
Oh man, that's the best of them all.
I don't think so, but okay. Congratulations, Michelle. And if you want to win some good stuff, play the puzzle, play along. We do this just about every week, except for major holidays.
Yep.
So let's get into next week's puzzle, shall we?
Fantastic.
All right, so this is a .NET 8 Blazor web app with global server interactivity, and the goal is to retrieve the logged in user's email address in the nav menu. Now, because I said logged in, this is also the default individual accounts authentication template. That's what we're using. And to do this, we did something that I think, junior developers, new developers might do. Copied the code from a place where the user email is pulled in, like components, account pages, manage, index, razor. Let's take a look at that. So down here, it's getting the user and the username and phone number. And of course, you can get the email from the username. And so this is, something that people would probably do. And we're going to do that in the nav menu. Basically, we added the identity user accessor and the user manager of application user, just like they did. And let's go down to the code here. So before we uncomment this, you have to create the auth database. So let's just go ahead and do that. I will register and log in, and everybody will be happy. All right, so everything's good. We can go to all the pages and everything works fine. Now, I'm not going to log out. What I am going to do is uncomment this code right here. All right, so we can get the user email. Let's see what happens. All right, so if I go to my manage account, I get this very strange error. A second operation was started on this context instance before a previous operation completed. This is usually caused by different threads concurrently using the same index of DB context. All right, so to most people, this is going to look like, what? I didn't start any new threads. I didn't do anything. I'm just trying to retrieve the email. So why? Why is this happening? And what's the best way to, in the nav menu, let's say, retrieve the user's information? It's tricky. So if you think you know the answer, don't post it on social media, but instead send it to Jeff and me at blazorpuzzle@appvnext.com with the subject puzzle number 41. And chew on that, guys and gals and peeps. Chew on it. Obsess away. We'll see you next week.
Take care, friends.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Make sure to check out blazortrain.com and the .NETshow.com for more great content.